Today is the 23rd of December and we're painting another bird. I did just finish, actually yesterday's bird, well not finish, I still got to put some writing on the gouache pan and I feel like he's not quite finished, so I'll probably have to just revisit him a little bit. Just looking to see where I am on here and see if here we go. Today I'm painting the hummingbird, and this is the image that we have for today's. And he's going to be wearing a sweater with a penguin. And what was it? The penguin who was holding, is it holding a candle or something like that? Let me just double check. Oh, penguin, oh no, penguin with a scarf. Hi C, how are you? Nice of you to join this morning. Hope you had a good day yesterday. If you were with us yesterday, I know C you weren't, we had a session where we had a walk in the snow yesterday. Hang on, I'm just cleaning up my crazy mess so I can just show you my little flip through here. You've probably seen it if you've been on social media this morning, and I don't know why I started backwards. I think because I thought it was going to open, I wanted it all to play out on the same side. So anyway, I could have had that as my cover and then started on the other side, but no, we went backwards yesterday, which I'm quite comfortable doing. I don't know why. I also start sketchbooks a lot of times in the back and then come back to the front. So all the images were a walk in the snow, and I just made a concertina with old paper that it's usually watercolor paper that I put on my surface if I'm doing a workshop or a class, and this way I can reuse it. And I like all the little imprints of different and marks of different things that have gone on, like coffee mugs, etc. So that was yesterday. If you are part of our paint and draw tier on Substack, you would have gotten the replay for that, or if you signed up to our Luma, you would have got the replay to that. I think I'm going to sort it out in the new year. It won't change how, if you are a member of our paying Substack, it won't change your Substack membership, especially if you've bought a whole year. But I think I may just combine the two tiers, because a lot of people are like, I didn't get the replay, or I didn't get the notification that there was a paint and draw session, but you have to be part of the paint and draw tier. This year I thought, oh, it would be special if there was because I'm here every week and 3 times a week, and then we do our Zooms, and as an extra we get to paint with each other and do our sessions as well. So that was going to be a different tier, and I've always had it like that in Patreon, and I thought I would bring it over to Substack. Anyway, it got a bit confusing, I think, for a lot of people who were new to what I do, and so I think I'll just raise the prices a little bit. I mean, it's only $5 a month, so I may raise it to like 7 or 8 for the combined tier. So it works out to be the same as what you've paid for the whole year, if you paid for the whole year as a paint and draw session. Anyway, thank you everybody. It was a lovely session, and thank you to everybody who was able to make it. I've got my book with me today, my weeks, just in case I need to write anything down. I'm a bit like I think there's a lot going on over Christmas, and I have my other daughter coming home today. I feel like I've been shopping for 2 weeks for food, and I because we're doing 2 dinners. And then I made the mistake and I read about, a lot of you guys are from the US. I read about your prime minister wanting to, or your president wanting to, needing Greenland. And again, that just, it frustrates me and makes me angry. And I shouldn't read news in the morning, and I did today, and I don't. It upsets me. Because I'm like, focus on your own country. Your own country needs a little bit of, love, and maybe you should give that a little bit of love before wanting to steal other people's countries. Anyway, it's annoyed me, and it's no reflection on you guys, because he is just, anyway, it just annoyed me. Louisa, is that Louisa, Pigeon Louisa? And good morning, Tammy, and hi, Nanette, and hi, Joanne, and hola, Patty, and hi, Louise. Hello, Reb. I said hi to C. Oh, Louisa, so nice to see you. Thank you for joining. What am I annoyed about? It's okay. I have done the rant. I don't want to think about it anymore, but the guy with the orange hair, that guy that's always on TV, he needs apparently Greenland for his security. No, he needs Greenland because he's gonna drill and like, there's only 57, I think 57, no, it can't be 57,000 inhabitants, but no, I'm just annoyed at him. I'm like, let Denmark have Greenland, like, it's part of Denmark. Let it have its country. Don't start talking about, he just wants to defer, he wants to defer all the other news onto something else so that people focus on something else and not on his wrongdoings in the past. Anyway, let's paint a bird. That makes me much happier. I shouldn't have looked at the news. I shouldn't have read the news. I don't usually in the morning, and yeah, I shouldn't have. So this was our bird from yesterday, which was the pheasant, and it's holding a favorite art material, which is gouache, but I have to still put the writing on. I also don't like its eye. I have to change the eye. What I noticed about the pheasant is the eye is really flat, so there was a little bit more light on the top, which I kind of lost, and but there isn't that shine like with this one, or with like this one also is flat, but when it's all black like this, I like how I can create all of one color. I like how I can, make it look a little bit round, or this one. Anyway, I feel like some of the birds are a lot more complete. Maybe because there's a lot of pattern on this that it just feels very busy and not complete enough, or I don't know, I feel like I need to go into it a little bit more. So the birds are coming along. Oh, Maria, I wanted to ask you, because I know that you're baking this morning. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Susan. Susan, I want to also ask you about the Met yesterday. Okay, Nanette says, you explained him exactly, Shar. It's helpful to know others see him for who he is. Oh, trust me. The whole world sees him for who he is. Don't get me started. I don't really want to give him, I'm just fueling the fire, basically, so I will just leave it at that. Maria, going back to you. I got my new oven yesterday, and so excited. I had to burn off all the horrible toxic yuck, and we've almost forgot to do that, my daughter and I. She was making cookies, so we're not bakers in our family. She really wants to learn how to make a good cookie, so she followed the instructions and everything, but I feel like there's like tips that a lot of these recipes are not giving you. So her cookies tasted like cakes. They weren't chewy, they didn't flatten. What did she do wrong? She she creamed the butter and it was cold butter, the butter and the sugar. She creamed that. I said she mixed the flour too much, like she didn't sieve the flour into the buttercream. What is she doing wrong when it turns out like a cake rather than a cookie? And I think we have a few bakers here, so maybe, you know, give me your advice. I'm gonna give it to her. She's gonna hate that I talked to you guys about it, but she really does. She wants to make a good cookie, and she wasted basically a whole batch. She just, yeah, she was very upset. And I know you're baking this morning, so tell me, what is the trick to making a soft, chewy cookie? And Susan says the Met was so fun. Oh, I'm sure it was so fun. Reb said such an embarrassment to us. It's not, you know what, it doesn't, it honestly, it only reflects on those who voted for him. And I feel embarrassed for those people, because I'm like, you just did wrong doing what you did. And I know that a lot of you guys here are not in that majority. Good morning, Meryl. Nanette says flatter cookies have less flour. Susan says, I made cookies last night that came out completely flat. My sister, baker, said the butter and eggs were not room temperature. Oh, the butter should be room temperature, so should the eggs. Okay. And cookie advice, follow reputable recipes. Thank you. And probably not TikTok like she did. She should get with me. Oh, get with Melly. Yes, she should get with Melly. She should have a cooking class with Melly. Okay, let me get just started. And Melissa, good morning, Melissa. And Louisa says, oh, by reputable, I don't mean whatever is pretty trending on IG. Exactly. I totally agree with you. Maybe I'll get her to, she can pick a recipe. I'll do it from one of my books that I've got, and she can do it from TikTok or Instagram and see which one turns out. Melissa says, Shaw, Melly and I are going to plan a cookie exchange. Okay, well, count me out, because I don't bake cookies. And Louisa says, right is right. Don't follow any blog. Some of the recipes have been completely wrong. No, the cookies actually didn't taste too bad. Although I feel like, yeah, there was too much flour. Yeah. I think you're right, Maria. Too much flour and not enough egg and sugar. They were not very sweet at all. Okay, that one's going to be too big. Yeah, so I think we have to do round 2 today. She's probably going to want to go and get more ingredients. Anyway, I'm glad she's trying. She's very excited that we actually have an oven that works. She has a good friend in our neighborhood whose sister is a cookie queen and is always baking cookies. So I said, why don't you go and ask her to give you a lesson? Right? Just go, or when she's baking cookies, go and watch her, stand next to her and see what she's doing. I think sometimes you need to, that's what you need to do. And she has a mom who is not a cookie baker, or not a baker. So I can cook, but I cannot bake. That's what I said to her, Patty. They were red velvet cookies with white chocolate chips in. And Patty says, if they tasted great, pretend they're cake. And that's exactly what I said. I said, hey, just put a little bit of ice cream with them, and I'm sure that'd be fine. Nanette says, I find when I follow a recipe from cooks' websites, they give a lot of extra tips. Also, I find good tips in the comments. Maria's making alfajores right now. Melissa says, alfajores. I don't even know what an alfajores is, and that's exactly why I'm not a cookie. See, I would much rather have cheese and olives than cookies. Let me know. Tell me what an alfajores is. Probably am not even saying it right. Maybe it's is it like a thing? Good bakers are also good knitters. Is that a thing? So the replay of our walk in the snow session will be on the page, but if you, so this is what I suggested to Julia, who doesn't always make our sessions because she's in Australia, and I said, I'm really bad because Substack is great if you have a computer in front of you and you're updating pages. It's really bad on your phone. So a lot of times I will use the chat for our sessions. So if you see that there's a Luma Meet, sign up to it, because you will get things like the Padlet sent to you, and you'll get the replay in the Padlet, whereas my updates on Substack are not that great. So that page that I have, the pinned page with all the sessions and everything, I will update it, but I haven't updated it in a little while, so I have to do that. So I suggest, if you are part of our paint and draw session tier, which is the higher tier, you will get everything you need when you sign up to the Luma, even if you can't make it. So this way you get notifications of everything through there. What do I want to knit? I'd like to knit. So Heike Louisa gave us in Italy, she gave us all a Sophie scarf. I want to learn to knit a Sophie scarf. I don't think it's going to be that difficult, but I can't read a knitting pattern, so it would help if I knew how to knit a pattern. I know that you're a master knitter, Louisa. We've missed you, by the way. Melissa says, I was a born grandma, so I can bake and knit. Yeah. Yes. And Maria says, I wish I could knit. Okay, so it doesn't always go together. What is alfajor? It's delicious, especially the Peruvian ones. And Maria says, no, Patty, the Chilean ones are the best. Now I have to, hang on, I'm going to write it in my little book. Oh, I don't have my pen. I didn't bring my pen down. Darn it. Okay, well, I have to find another pen. Sharpies does not go good in that. Let me just write it in pencil, if I can find a pencil. You'd think it would be easy to find all these things, seeing as I've got materials everywhere here. And I should have a page for mornings. That's what I'm gonna do, mornings. Cookies. Less flour, more sugar. No, I'm not gonna put that, but I am gonna look up the alfajor. Is it? Did I? Let me see. Alfajores. I'm gonna look it up when I get finished here. Nanette says, well, baking is more of a science than cooking. You have to be, I know, you have to be exact. I'm not exact. I'm not exact. And knitting is mathematical, so they're both left brain. But I think I'm okay at math, so I don't know. I guess not that kind of math. You woke up late, Meryl says. Well, you're probably having a good time with your daughter. Nanette says, Google knitting stitches, videos galore. And Patricia says, oh my gosh, Shar, I think you and I have the same problem. I cannot read instructions in embroidery or knitting. No, I can't. I find it very difficult. We can have a knit and cookie meetup. Yeah, but you'll just be teaching me everything. But that would be nice. Thank you, Melissa. And Patricia says, Maria, if you say that the Chilena ones are better, honey, is because you haven't had the Peruvian. Really interesting to see how you capture the iridescent feathers. No pressure, eh? Did you see Julia's Reb? Julia posted hers. Very, very pretty. It looks so pretty. I think I've already gone a little bit wiry. I need to bring out a little bit more transparency, and then I can come over it, go over it. Oh, you don't think you've seen it? If you, hers is on, well, I think she posted on Substack as well. She is on Substack, Reb, and she is on Instagram. And hers is beautiful this morning. She's in Australia, so she's already had this day. This day has already come and gone for her. Okay. He's wearing a sweater. I could have done his face a little bit bigger. It's not easy when the beak is so prominent and sticks out like this. Louisa, how are your birds? Do you have any new ones, or are they all still... I'm going to try and remember their names. Barbie. Who else was there? That's really bad. That's like not remembering your kids' names. And that says, Shar, start with a garter stitch scarf to knit first. Easiest to learn and no increases or decreases. I think it's the counting as well. Maybe I've just got... Maybe I just... not very good at focusing. Alright. What color? If he's wearing a penguin with a scarf, I should probably look up what a penguin looks like. And yeah, let's take this out like so. I like when they have much bigger. I'm going to make his head a little bit bigger this way. I know he's only little, and I know his head is not usually probably that big, but I do want, if he's going to wear a sweater, he needs to kind of go around his belly. Okay, I need to look up penguin. I go to Wiki. All right, I think I'm gonna do, should I do a baby penguin? I do like the baby penguins. And that says learning to count. That's why they teach knitting in first grade, to help kids learn how. Okay, I did not get taught. Actually, my grandma, she taught me knitting. My mum taught me knitting as well. I have knitted. I've got knitting needles with a scarf that's been started on it, because I found it the other day. It's not like I can't knit. It's just that I'm like, when I look at things that people do, I go, oh, that looks really nice. I saw, you know what I saw? I saw a Sophie scarf that had a cable knit to it. That was super pretty. I saw that the other day. Somebody had made it who I follow, who actually has also got a tutorial on how to make a beautiful journal. But I was going to share it, and then I'll share it in the Hobonichi group. I mean, it's gorgeous, but I would never think about making one because I've got way too many books right now. So, but it's really pretty. I just want to do all the things. Okay, this little guy has to be wearing a scarf. So we will make it windy in the Arctic. Hang on, are penguins in the Antarctic or the Arctic, or are they in both? I do like asking you guys questions because then you can tell me. Patricia. Patty says that's why I never passed the first grade. Louisa says there's a pattern called the Simple Thing on Ravelry. It's free and essentially the Sophie whatnot. Oh. Like, and I honestly, oh, here's our knitter. Well, we have a few knitters here. I don't mind. I'd like to support the artist, so I really don't mind paying for a I don't mind paying for a pattern at all. We were just saying, I think if you can bake cookies, you can knit, because there's a lot of us here. Well, how about there's a few of us here who find it a challenge to bake good cookies, and we are not knitters, so I think it goes together. And Melissa said then she's a grandma because she can knit and she can bake cookies. Patricia says, we have penguins in Lima eating alfajores. You joined at a good time. You did join at a good time. Louisa from Barcelona is here. And she was saying that there's a good, which I need to write down now. If I don't write down, then I will forget. And I need to put a little tab that says mornings here so that I can always come to there. I'm going to write it down though. Ravelry and the Sophie Whatnot. You'll see over these next couple of days I'm going to be knitting, and then I'll be churning out these scarves. Exactly, Nick. They are both following a recipe essentially. Thank you. That is the commonplace for both of them. They both follow a recipe. Okay, let me just get some shadow on here. What color shall I do his sweater? And that says, I'm going to use your headline of mornings to keep track of what we hear. I think it's a really good idea. Okay, so I learned a little bit more about the Commonplace book, and I feel like it's really interesting and should be used in a little bit of a different way. Or people, now I should have written it down, but there's this guy who developed the Commonplace Index, and it's super smart. So he has all the alphabet. So this is like if you were going to keep, like if you were learning something, or if you write book reviews, or, you know, you just want to keep notes on something that you're interested in a journal, and you want to index it, and your book doesn't have an index, you can create your own index, and it has like the ABCs, and then it has all the vowels. So when you're writing something, your header of your page, say you're looking at birds from North America or something like that, but you want to put, so it's the B and then the I, because that's the first vowel of the title, and then so you go down to your index and you go to B, and then under the I you put the number of the page that it's in. It's super smart. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it really right, but it's a really good way of finding things and for your brain to realize where it is in your book. See, that I get. That was like, I'm like, oh, that's super smart. I want to do that if I make an index of things that I'm writing down. And does anybody use a Commonplace book and that system? I'm interested if you are. How long have you been using it? And you obviously like the system. Okay. So we have a little penguin. A little bit darker here on the fur. And then I have to put, what I'm going to do, the color of, maybe I'll do it in red. I think that would be a good idea. Meryl says, good morning, Louisa. Nick says, there are lots of free patterns with great tutorials for new knitters. Yin Can Knits, simple collection, for example. Okay, I'll write that down. Yin Can Knits. Tin Can Knits, I mean, and one of the partners of this partnership is Canadian. Oh, okay. Patricia says, your explanation is almost like knitting. Yeah, I know, it sounded a little bit crazy. I think I have to do it, like show in a tutorial. I'll do that. It's very smart. If you want to find out about it, just look up the Commonplace book system, index system, and it'll come up. It's some philosopher who invented this idea. He probably didn't invent it, but he probably just wrote it down and said he invented it. That's usually what happens, right? You hear something and you claim it, that it's yours. And I guess back then nobody was there to say, actually, I did it, you didn't do it. But who cares? If you're sharing it, then that's great. Melissa says, I learned the most about knitting from the Stitch and Bitch books. Ah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could... See, I think I would learn better from videos than books, because that whole, you know, trying to figure out a diagram that somebody's designed. Maybe I should check out Creative Bug. They may have something as well. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little stripy scarf on this guy. Oh, here comes Piper. Hang on a second. Hi, Miss Pipes. You coming in here? Come, it's nice and warm. Little Miss Piper. Yesterday she was so happy. We went for a walk in the morning and she found this brand new Kong Christmas ball. She was ecstatic. Honestly, I feel like somebody had taken that ball up to the park before the snowstorm that they had like a couple of weeks ago, and it got lost in the snow and the dog couldn't find it. And then the snow has been melting. Well, now we're getting more snow, but the snow has been melting, and so it suddenly appeared. So when we were walking yesterday, it was a little bit frozen, the ball. But I carried it all the way home and then just washed it off a little bit. I'm like, you've got a new ball. She was so excited. Oh, Nanette says, I watched a similar video for a Commonplace book. It's a great idea. I don't know if I can handle all this. First, we have to learn to count and how to alphabetize. Haha. I think it's good for our brains, though. Oh, Melissa says, I'm not even sure YouTube existed when I learned. Oh, that's true. It probably didn't, like videos and things like that. Nick said, there are heaps of tutorials on YouTube for knitting. Very Pink Knits has good ones. Okay. Like, you're going to see me doing a lot of this, because if not, I go away. And I don't know why. Melissa, have you found out why your chat isn't saved on replays. Very pink knits. And tin can knits. That's on Ravelry. Okay. I'm going to make his body a little rounder down here, and then I can start with the iridescence on the hummingbird. Oh, Nanette says, Melissa, I had to learn from books too. Books and grandmas, right? Or mothers who knitted. Okay. Friends and grandmas are the best to sit and knit with. Oh yes, and my boyfriend's grandma taught me how to use double-pointed needles to knit in the round. Sweet. I feel like knitters are very good at sharing. And my mom always wants to share how she does something. And she's a knitter, but she doesn't, and she was a weaver because that was her background. But she doesn't use a pattern for knitting. She kind of just is almost like a musician who doesn't know how to read music. So she just looks at what she's going to knit and then tries to figure it out. But she doesn't, I don't think she does anything super complicated. Like, she's not knitters like you, Nick, and like you, Louisa, and Elvira. Oh my goodness, you guys. When I see what you guys create, I'm like, wow, that is spectacular. And that says, I learned the English style of knitting. Then my stepmother told me I was doing it all wrong and made me learn the continental style, which is much easier. I must. It was IMO. Is it? I must admit. I must. Oh, in my opinion. Hello, Scott. How are you? Good morning. And that says my stepmother was from Germany. All right, let's get some of this. iridescence on, which to me, I think a lot of it is just leaving color. So I didn't get that orange bit there. It's okay, it doesn't have to be exactly how the feathers are here. Nick says, I do get very excited to talk about knitting, obviously. It still feels like magic to me that it's all basically one stitch or in reverse with a few variations. Amazing how you can get such variety. Oh yeah, I am amazed at what you guys create. And I'm happy that it still wows you as well. I mean, I guess it's like painting, right? One paintbrush, colors, and you can create so many different things. It's, yeah. We're very fortunate to have that excitement, I think, for creating. Some people don't have that. Some people don't, or don't think that they can create. I think that's, you know, it's a little bit sad. So if you're watching this and you are not or you think that you're not a creative, trust me, everybody can create. And I always said it's so nice to see something that you've done and created at the end of the day. If I haven't done anything, I feel like I haven't accomplished, or the day has been kind of lost if I haven't created something. And it can be anything. It can be, you know, that you bake, that you, anything that you do with your hands. Or even like writing, reading, journaling, just something creative. Reb, I loved your, I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw the short video of you plein air painting. So, I just miss being able to go outside and draw. And seeing that, I'm like, you live in a warm place pretty much year round. It's so nice that you can go out and do and do your plein air painting even in the winter. I don't know if it's even right to call a place that doesn't get winter winter. It's just, is that winter? It should be cold, but I know it's not. When I was in Spain, it really didn't feel like winter. It felt like autumn or spring a lot of times. Things were blossoming in December and January. It did not feel like winter winter. Okay, so I don't think I've got the brightness that I wanted to have on some of these. I know that there's a contrast that is necessary, so I'll just wait for them to dry and come back up here with the little feathers here on his head. So I will not be here tomorrow morning or Christmas Day morning, but we will have a Zoom on Friday, on Boxing Day morning, just a regular Friday Zoom. And I'm going to be drawing the name for 2 little birds, one for you, one for your friend, if you have entered my giveaway. The bird will be a surprise because some of them have been already spoken for. So, but I will send you and your friend a little surprise bird. And Louisa says, haha, knitting is only magical when it works out like you hoped. That is true. Patty says it's cold here. Raining here. Oh. Well, it's snowing here. Snowing, and I think it was, I don't know how cold it was, but Melissa, is it snowing in Toronto? And just a reminder to you all that I have a new course coming out in January. If you have signed up, thank you. And if you haven't, please message me if you want a discount. If you have traveled with me, you get a code for me from traveling with me. And if you are a subscriber on Substack, then you get a discount code as well for 20% off. So message me and I will send you the discount code for the January course. And it's called Foundations to Finished Pieces. So we're going to be working on everything from still life, interiors, portraits, landscapes, and did I say interiors? Yeah, so we're going to be working on everything, and then building the classes. You'll learn everything from value and line and proportion, color, and it's 2 days a week, Tuesday and Wednesdays, and then Saturdays will be if you want to come in, it's a drop-in and review, so you'll be able to finish your pieces if you haven't finished them during the week. So I'll be there, and if you have any questions or anything, it'll just be a nice place to work on what you have from the week's 2 classes, and then we'll do the same the following week, and then so it's a 4-week course starting January 6th. And if you have signed up already, I will be sending an email with the Padlet, although there won't be any images in there yet, but this way you have it. The Zoom links will be in there, etc. I don't like this bit. See, I didn't get it as bright here, did I? Nope. Not as bright. And that could be bright. Bright. Oops. When it's such a small painting, you really can't put that much water on your piece. Alright, I need a dark red, Merry Christmas, Tammy. Wishing you a wonderful Christmas. We will see you after Christmas. Be back if you're not coming to our Zoom on Friday. I will be back on YouTube next Tuesday. Melissa says, yeah, looks like we got an inch overnight. I went for a walk with Piper this morning outside, and I love the sound of crunchy snow. I have to put it on my stories, and I will. It was like super crunchy. It's snowing in Pennsylvania. Nice. Oh, Nanette, Melissa's art hang party is on Friday at 7 p.m. Ooh, good to know. Thank you. Good to know. Thanks, Nanette. Thank you. If you're new here as well, please say hi and remember to subscribe to my channel. I don't really check to see if my subscription numbers go up. And Melissa and Reb are probably better at doing that. I don't really think about it too much, and then I forget also to encourage people to press that subscribe button and the like, thumbs up. And if you're watching after the fact, please comment that you were here. Let us know if you're a knitter or a baker, if you have any tips. It'll be really, really handy to have that in the comments, because the comments, like we said, I think they just disappear. Is it only on the lives that they disappear? Okay, I feel like this color is too dark, but then I'm going to lose all the other color if I darken. They're a little bit heavy. A little bit heavy. They look almost like tiles. That's right, I think I've overworked it now. That happens a lot. Love the feather detail. Thank you so much, and happy holidays to everybody. Susan says, how to attend Art Hang. Art Hang is on YouTube. You just have to go and follow Melissa Martin on YouTube, Scott, and well, you can catch up with lots of her replays as well. Should have had a feathered edge to this scarf there. And I need a color for behind the bird. Now, do I go really, maybe I'll go really dark, because then things will pop out. Melissa says, I'd love to see you there, Scott. Okay. Shah, will you release these as printed Christmas cards you can sell next year? Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm also going to have a bird sale at the end or towards the end of the month. We're going to get Christmas over with, and then we are going to have our giveaway on the Friday next week. This week. Friday this week, sorry. And then I will be putting them up for sale. They will be, I am putting the price at $70 US as a Christmas special. And I'm offering them to the people who put the birds up first. There are a couple that have already been taken, unfortunately, from friends who have contacted me. And yeah, so I will offer them up, and if anybody is interested, let me know, and then I won't advertise your bird that you, of your day, of your area, and we'll sort that out. And I will send them on the 1st of January. I'll get them all sent out. But yes, they will be next year's Christmas cards. Melissa says, this week we are doing it on Friday, as we'll be doing 20-minute flowers. It's always on Thursday, but you know, Christmas. Yes. Yes, Scott. Melissa's on weekly, usually every Thursday. All right. Oh, Louisa says, my other cookie comment is that I expect red velvet cookies should be a bit cakey. Not super sure, as I've never really got into the RV red velvet thing. I think you're right, Louisa. I think they should be a little bit cakey, right? But I have had very good red velvet cookies that are, you know, chewy and delicious. And Jordan's were not chewy and delicious, unfortunately. They were cakey and not super sweet. So, also another question for you, if you guys have electric cookers and have convection, do you cook cookies on the convection setting, or do you just cook them in a regular setting? Does convection dry them out too much, maybe? I think she had it on convection. That's another question for you guys. And my belly is starving. I'm not starving, but my belly is. Did you hear that belly? Okay. It was lovely of you guys all to join, and please have a wonderful week with your family if you are celebrating. If you're not, have a wonderful week anyway, of course. Yeah, maybe I'll do a little bit of research about that convection side of the oven. Yeah, I didn't get the iridescence. It's okay. It's just, you know, I don't know if I can lift this enough. I put too much black down here. Or dark blue. I was using purple. You have to let that dry and then put some more orange. Louisa says it depends on your oven. Some ovens run hot. I think convection you need to lower temperature a bit. Oh, see, I need some baking advice from you guys. Thank you. So that could have been an option, like a problem too, right? But I think it really was that she wasn't using a recipe, a reputable recipe, and it was just one of those. Ooh, those look good on Instagram or TikTok. Too much overworked. I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, thank you all. I don't know. I don't think so, Reb. I mean, he's a cutie, but I don't know. It's okay. It's I definitely didn't capture it on, I think I have to work a little bit more on the pheasant as well. I want to work. I didn't post my pheasant because I wasn't super happy with how he turned out. So I need to post those today. So I will see you guys on Friday. Have a lovely day and enjoy your week. And this little hummingbird was brought to us by Melissa in LA. And yesterday's was Heike. Yeah, so I've got to work on Heike's, on the feathers a little bit more. And get the eye a little bit brighter. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a great day. I will be thinking of you all. Take care. Bye, everyone. Bye.